KKL trio. We're going to go to our next piece as we set up. This is, I mean, Eugene McBride will tell us more, but this is actually the last piece that Joe wrote. And like Bach, and he didn't finish it, right? He just finished it.
He did a great job.
And Gene put it together. I just, you know, I'm going to take, I think we have, it's nice because I thought this concert was going to be a little longer, but we're going to have time after this to have some people come up and talk. And I just like to say that Joe, you know, I mentioned before, Joe was, he was one of my mentors. And then I was like thinking, you know, how many mentors did I have? And I think I had 4. I had my father, then I had my teacher, Jim Paula Bracali, who I studied with my high school music. And then I met Joe through, it was called the, now it's called the American Composers Forum, but it was called the Minnesota Composers Forum. And we used to go to Joe and Linda's house, and to everybody's houses, and I met all these people, that's where I met Joe. And my 4th mentor was Joe Zavino, but who I worked with very closely. But and those people I kind of consider, I mean, I worked with a lot of people, but those 4 people who are older than me and helped me out were my mentors. And Joe really was my mentor. I mean, he was a friend, so I never really, when he was alive and we did stuff together, I never thought of him as a mentor because we're friends and we're running this organization, whatever. But now I'm thinking, like, he actually, I was a young nothing. He decided to make me a director and all this stuff, you know. So he was a mentor, and I'm gonna miss him a lot. Eugene McBride, who also lives in Joel and Linda's building. Can you tell us a little bit about this piece that you put together, which was his last piece, and it's called, what is it? It's called
Love Lurks.
Love Lurks. That's a beautiful last piece, Joe.
I think that his humor, you know, love is right there, ready to grab you. You know, his Love Lurks. It's a wonderful title. I didn't really do anything to this music except organize it a little bit. I didn't change a note. It's just as he wrote it. Something comes to mind, which is Joe and I were both a member of another composers group called New York Composers Circle, and in that environment we put on concerts, and my sons came to the concert, and after the concert, you know, I said to my son, "So, what did you think of the music? How did you like it? What was your favorite piece?" And he said that Joe's piece was his favorite piece. And he's probably right, you know. He was a wonderful friend. I miss him. It's for you, Joe. Thank you. Woo!
Eugene McBride and Lynn Bechtold. I actually love that ending. I mean, it's shocking in a way. You didn't think it was gonna end. Love learning, love still learning. So, since, you know, I didn't know how long this show is going to be, actually, I thought we were going to go later. So we actually have some time, and I'd like to invite, because a couple of people expressed some interest to make this a real memorial where people come up and just talk about things, about Joe. So before, I know Linda Diamond wants to say something, but I would like actually Patrick Hardish, who was Joe's partner and started composing Concordance with him, also expressed interest in saying something. Patrick, can you come up and say, Patrick was going to have a piece in this concert, but I don't know, what happened, Patrick? You didn't write a piece.
Yeah, I halfway through.
All right, well, next time. Next memorial. I mean, Patrick Hardish, everybody, give him a nice round of applause, please.
Joe and I started to organize concerts, and the name of the composer's Concordance. I think it was Joe's idea for the name. Anyway, started at Barnard College when I was taking some courses at Columbia, and then it grew from there, various places all over New York City. And Joe was a great colleague. We didn't always agree on everything, but we agreed on most things. So sometimes we don't always agree on every composer, but most of the time we did. And so it was great fun, and I enjoyed doing it all those years. And I still am. I'm working on another drum set piece, which I had done a few years ago. And also we're composing it for Jarvis. But I didn't quite finish it, so hopefully maybe next season.
We'll do it next season. Get it to us.
Okay, and thank you. I don't know what else I can say about Joe. Is also a wonderful colleague because we really work well together. You know, if you have two people that agree on everything, that's not so good. This was really better, and I think it really worked out almost all the time. So I miss Joe, and I think he was very, very kind. It was just, it's really unfortunate what happened, but you know. But it's a great tribute to him, and we should all be proud of what he did, and so forth. And anyway, I certainly am very proud that I was associated with him.
Thank you, Patrick. And you're right what you just said. Me and Dan don't agree on nothing. Playing that. So it was really great to see a lot of friends of Joe that I've known before, but I haven't seen for a long time. And one of them is Linda, and Linda lives upstate, so it's great that she came up. I mean, I know it's hard to come to our 110 concerts that we have here, but it's great that you did come, and I know you were interested in saying something. Linda Diamond, would you like to come up? During the show, Linda and I were planning, I think we were planning a concert up in Woodstock. We're gonna come up, don't play with me. Don't play with me, I'm gonna come up there, I'm gonna do a concert for you. You think I'm joking? Linda Diamond, ladies and gentlemen, who's a very old friend of Joe. She's a little old friend.
Thank you. Hi. Oh, these lights. I just want to thank Joe for having the vision to create Composers Concordance. I was thinking about that before I came here, and it was so nice to see and hear many of the composers that I used to listen to at his concerts, and he was remarkably eclectic. This is very unusual. I'm in the dance field, and I was thinking about how many choreographers and dancers dismiss other people's works. Joe was completely the reverse. He encompassed and embraced so many different styles. And I don't remember him ever saying a bad word about another person's style. And the other thing is...
to me.
Oh, not to me. Okay,
Well, you saw.
I wasn't around then. But the other thing that's very important that has been overlooked is that Joe really wanted to encourage and bring in women composers, but not just one at a time, several, and there are many different ones that I'm sure many of you know. and he was very egalitarian that way. The other thing is that he told me that when he created Composer's Concordance, that the hidden word dance is in there. I had worked with him as a choreographer, in case you didn't know, too, and he created some works for me, and I also performed some of them at Lincoln Center and Interlochen. And when he came to New York, he had just completed his PhD at the University of Michigan, but he had to go there to do the final work. And he had such enthusiasm for the field that even though, as you all know as artists, those of you who are musicians and composers and other areas of the arts, that you know, having a degree in the field and having all the best intentions does not always help us have full-time work in our chosen field. And yet he had such a commitment and devotion to Composer's Concordance, and regardless of what different things happened, he played piano for ballet classes. That's how he met Linda, his lovely wife. And I consider Joe and Linda lifetime friends. They spent many different times, visits to Woodstock, where I now live most of the time. And we have so many wonderful memories together, and I really feel like family. And I know that he's with us now, smiling and happy that his music and the music of all of you who have performed here tonight are with us and bringing joy to his fantastic legacy. And he has left his footprints in spite of the difficulties at the end of his life. And I do want to thank Linda so much for her fantastic devotion to this. So if I may say one or two words about that, I do recall that Linda had to go away once to Italy for a dance workshop and performance, and she made sure that there would be someone visiting him just about every day. She had a whole schedule, I believe. And this is just very remarkable, just to show you the devotion and loyalty that they both had to each other in their art and in their caring for each other and their vision of the world and the kindness and the humanity. And this is what we need more of. But I'm so happy to have had both, still have, both of them as lifetime friends. And I also knew his mother, and we did a little interview with Joe in Woodstock for the television show I do, and we had a lot of fun, and we have a wonderful memorabilia of that, because Linda and Joe had just come back from Russia, so they had a lot of interesting stories to tell. So I feel like the fabric of their lives has also woven into mine, and will always be there. Thank you. Woo.
You know who really would like the show that we just produced? Joe. There's a lot of different types of music and a lot of great people. Is anybody, somebody else, Peter, did you want to say something? Yeah. Peter, is there, I think, did I meet you at one of the American, not American, they were called Minnesota. The Minnesota.
You know, I heard about it through the, right, it's the American Composers.
It was called the Minnesota Composers, yeah.
But then we learned about the New York Composers Circle, and
that was after me. But I met Joe at Minnesota Composers Forum, which became American Composers Forum. I think you were you not?
Yeah, I was a part of it. You know, there's this fellow, Michael Aranella. I don't know if anybody goes to these, you know, like trombone swing nights. He could be a very high-end wedding performer. Pardon? Oh, sure. Well, anyway, Michael Aranella is a fantastic trombonist. We've had amazing trombones. In fact, I probably didn't even know about this. I know about it somewhat indirectly because of Michelle Schacht somehow being involved with the composer. Yeah, so somehow the reference to the Composers Circle came of Composers Concordance. But I do want to acknowledge Joe's work with the New York Composers Circle, where, you know, we met Eugene McBride and a lot of other John Grossman. I'm sorry, there are many interesting composers there who worked in microtonality. So did we talk about the break that he took the the octave and he did the computer work with it? Because I think we heard a recording where the bass flute was playing and the microtonality that's so outrageous. Totally wild. That was the playing of the music that he did with microtonal work, using the computer to break down the sound. So that we really heard, it's totally innovative music. Everything we heard tonight, I think, is tremendously innovative and fresh, and exciting, the interaction, the interplay between the instruments. So I really want to acknowledge him as a composer, just the excitement of hearing something innovative, and so often that it tends to be a life cut short somehow. But everything we're hearing, and maybe I'd like to hear more of that computer work that he did. So and I came a little late. Did we cover some of that tonight?
Yeah.
You did it, yes.
His microtonal piece, was it in addition to the bass flute piece?
Yes.
So I'm sorry I missed that. It's very exciting to hear this music, and also personally I want to acknowledge him and Linda for the hospitality they always offered to us and the encouragement. Certainly, opening up to people with aspirations for creating innovative music themselves. So I want to thank Linda for creating this event, and everybody else, and just acknowledge that Joseph Pehrson is a wonderful composer. He's a very innovative composer, and I think it's worth hearing a lot more of his music in the future. So thank you.
Well, we certainly I certainly have a volunteer program. Joe says music, and every season we have lots of concerts, and always have a Joe piece. There's one person here who lived with Joe, because Joe was living in an assistant's house for a while, and David were you his roommate or?
No.
But Joe would bring you to every concert, and he would, for the past 3-4 years before COVID, he would come to the concerts, and you said you'd like to say something, and I would love for you to say something about Joe. David, come up, if you can. No, not if you can, as in, shut up, Eric. Sorry, my friend Eric, he's a poet, he's got away with words. As David's making his way up here, I'd like to thank everybody for making it out to this concert, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, because usually we don't do concerts this long, but this is a memorial, so if you want to speak from there, or you can come up, whichever way you like. Come on, you're halfway there now. Oh, or maybe you want to talk from here? This is David, everybody. Thank you.
My name is David. And I met Joseph at our assisted living facility, where he was before he went to the hospital. And his love for Linda was amazing. And one of my favorite movies of all time was Love Story. And the way he talked about Linda was like Love Story. It was amazing. So when I met her, I said, this is a gift from God to meet the woman of Sylvia's dreams. So I'm really thrilled to be here to represent his assisted living facility, because we all loved him. He had a big heart, especially for his wife. And I'm sorry he's no longer here. I'm glad I could make it and represent the facility, because it meant a lot to him at the end of his life. And Linda knows that. So thank you all for being a part of his life, because he's a special person who made a big difference in the world. My father is a concert pianist, and he knew Joseph, and he said great things about Joseph's music and talent. So that's a big deal. Big deal. My father played at Carnegie Hall when he was 7 years old. So you'll get a sense. And he was the first African-American elected to the Advertising Hall of Fame. So I come from a serious family. And I went to Princeton, my degree's in chemistry. I graduated from my class, I wrote a book. So I've quite a background too. And Joseph and I played chess every day in the beginning of my time being there, and we played for 6 or 7 hours a day. chess. And that's not easy to do no matter what your situation is. So we got really close doing that every day, and the whole facility knew we were best friends. So to lose him like this is really sad, where he passed away outside of our facility. I'm really glad he's representing our facility though. Oh yeah, it's called the West 74th Street Residence. It's done by the West Side Federation. They handle people who are elderly or disabled. I'm disabled. I was the youngest person there, and I'll be 60 in December. Most people are much older. And the amazing thing about Joseph and I is we spend a lot of time together, playing chess mainly, but when he speak about Linda, I said, I have to meet her one day. And that's why I'm thrilled I'm here tonight, because she was running this. I said, Linda, I have to be there. So she sent me an invitation. I said, I'm going to be there for sure. Even though it's a challenge to come from the Upper West Side all the way over here, I made it. I have to be there for Joseph. Yeah, so I'm really thrilled. I'm happy to be here to see other people who were important to Joseph, or were important to Joseph when he was alive. Because he was a special person, really cared about the world. So, thank you all for making a difference in his life. And thanks for being here. And I'm glad that Joseph had these people, you, to make his life special. And his great wife put this together. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, David. The award for the most emotional speech goes to David from tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you for everybody participating, everybody who knew Joe. We're going to continue compose Concordance. We have lots of concerts, and we're going to make sure every season we have, you know, a bunch of Joe pieces, so that's not going to end. Please don't run away. Come, you know, we've been listening to this concert, we can't really talk. Hang out and talk to each other. Talk to me. I'm drunk, but you can still talk to me. Thank you again. Joe, rest the music. We love you. And peace.
We have a number one song. Let's go. I'll tell you about it.